Hi Anna, really well done for submitting this work. It's good to see that you're working hard on improving your English, and hopefully with this feedback you'll be able to improve even more. So your first task was that you are going to visit the UK for an English and homestay programme and to write a letter to your host family. In that letter you had to introduce yourself, ask the family some questions to get essential information about the UK, and tell the family the scheduled date of arrival and the time of arrival. Okay, so dear Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, good. So I'm writing to you regarding the English and homestay programme in which I am enrolled. I'm going to visit you soon in the UK, therefore I would like to introduce myself as well as to ask some questions. So, the next part, so regarding to myself. Now, this is a phrase we don't really use very much. So, you could say, instead of regarding to myself, you could say, about me, comma, my name is Anna and I live in Israel. Presently I'm studying for a master's degree in at Tel Aviv University. I've never been to the UK before, yet I've always dreamed of visiting someday. Okay, well done. Good, so a nice introduction there. So that's the first part of the task, so introduce yourself. As for my questions, instead of as for my questions, firstly, I would like you to provide me with useful information about your time zone. Okay, so here it would be better to have it as a question. So, firstly, could you provide me with useful information about your time zone? Okay, question mark. Also, what is the preferred public transportation from the airport to your home? And can you recommend where I can buy a local SIM card in order to contact you after my arrival? Okay, so here it's better to have them as questions because it makes it less less that we're telling them what to do and more that we're asking for their help. Also, please advise me on the current weather conditions in the UK. Which clothes should I bring? It's good, well done. So as to my flight, so it would be as for my flight, but we've already used this once. So we could say in terms of my flight, my plane departs from Tel Aviv and lands in London on Friday, May 28th at 5 p.m. GMT. I will be flying with British Wings with a connection in France. Okay, I'm extremely excited to finally meet you. See you soon. Yours sincerely, Anna. Okay, this is all really good. Well done. So the main thing here is about the questions in this part of the letter. So using those questions as direct questions instead of kind of instructions here, that will make it seem more friendly as an email, even though it's a more formal email. We don't want to sound like we're telling them what to do, so it'd be better to use the questions here instead. But yes, very, very well done. A good letter there. You've covered all of the points. Your language is of a high level, just a couple of changes. And if you change those questions in the middle, that will make a big difference as well. So really good work. As for your second piece, this was the question: some people believe that employees should stay in the same job for the rest of their lives. Others think they should switch jobs at least once during their career. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Okay, good. So let's have a look. Opinions are divided on whether employees should be switching jobs during their career or staying in the same role until retirement. Good, great phrase there, and it's nice how you've varied the language from the question, but you've still got the main theme of the question. It's good. In my opinion, staying in the same job is problematic nowadays, and therefore is only suitable for certain individuals. Okay, good work. Well done. Good. So a strong introduction there. What you could do here is just to very briefly outline what the essay is going to do as well. Yeah, good. Having the same job for the rest of the life does not fit with modern world's market model where everything is constantly changing. Okay, so having the same job for your whole life does not fit with the modern world's market model where everything is constantly changing. An employer may find out that there are more suitable positions for them in the market in terms of financial rewards such as wages, bonuses, perks and benefits. Okay, so an employee may find that, so no out there, may find that. Good. They may also discover that there are positions requiring less work volumes for higher payments. For example, a pharmacist in an Israeli hospital works almost 30% more hours a week compared to a retail pharmacist for substantially less annual salary. Yeah, good. Okay. Good. So here it would be good just to have a sentence at the end to outline how this links to the question. Okay. So therefore this shows that changing jobs is beneficial to an employee. Okay. So just to link back to the question, make sure we've got that logical progression and coherence here. Another point to consider is that as technology and industry are constantly evolving, there are new interesting positions opening all the time. Good. In order to be truly skilled and valued, one should switch jobs at least once in order to gather the whole picture about his profession. Okay, so at least once in order to gather the whole picture about his impression. So gather the whole picture here, it would be get the whole picture, but it doesn't really work in this context. So one should switch jobs at least once in order to we might say get a full impression of his profession, perhaps. It does not mean that he would have to start, so it doesn't mean that they would have to start moving up the ladder from the bottom. In the contrary, the experience gained in the previous work will most probably assist in gaining a higher learning curve in the new job. Okay, so good. So it does not mean they would have to start moving up the ladder from the bottom. Full stop there. On the contrary, okay, on the contrary, capital O, comma, the experience gained in the previous work will assist in gaining a high position, I would say, high position in the new job. Okay, or a qualified position in the new job. Okay, good. The same as the previous paragraph, if you finish this paragraph here with a sentence just to state how this relates to the question. So this shows that, or as such, it is important to change jobs at least once. Okay. On the other hand, there are specific types of personalities that are resistant, resistant, to change, known as. These people find comfort in stability and adapt, ADAPT, poorly to switching jobs. Good. For them it is better to stay in the same job and even the same position for the rest of their lives. Good, well done. So this part here, this small sentence at the end, is a good example of how to round off a paragraph. Okay. In conclusion, staying in one job for the rest of your life is not feasible in modern day. So in modern day, no S. due to the world constantly reshaping. Therefore, unless a person is completely unwilling to change jobs, he ought to switch it at least once during his career in order to possibly benefit from better terms and gain various experience in his field. Okay, good. So, for this one, a good conclusion there. What I would say, just to make it even better, is to include your opinion here. So, therefore, I believe that. Just because the question is saying what extent do you agree or disagree. So we need to have an opinion phrase in there somewhere. We've got one at the beginning, which is good. It would be good to have one just near the end as well, just to show that you're giving your opinion as well. But yes, a really good piece of writing. Very well done on both of those.